Hello and welcome to this tutorial for LEGO Harry Potter Years 1 through 4. In this video we will be going over the final level in this game, which is 4-6 in any percent. So starting off, we start off like this with us at the bottom of the stairs here, and basically for the only time in the run we need to scale this entire staircase. So we're going to do that by first off waving at the painting. I have no idea what caused me to lift there. That was weird. I've not seen that before either, but that's fine. From there, we go up the stairs, and you'll notice what I've done here is I've switched Ron onto Wingardium Leviosa, and I'm going to switch Harry onto Reducto. And that is because for the next step, or for the next set of stairs, we have to use both of them. So I'm going to jump and fire fire Reducto, and then immediately fire or use the Wingardium Leviosa with Ron. And what I tend to do is each time I have Harry and Ron just run up against the banisters. It's not strictly necessary, but it's just a bit of personal preference. It gets them as close as possible, essentially. But then from here, continue up the stairs, and I'm going to switch both characters onto Immobilis this time. And basically, just up above us, we have two pixies which we need to shoot. The positioning for both characters is quite important here. And also, one thing I make sure to do is make sure both characters have their wands out, so I can save time on the animations. But I tend to have Ron on the near side, Harry on the far side, like so. And as I'm moving up, I'll jump and shoot, or just regular shot, because you're moving, it's fine. And then I'll position them about here, and spam to take out both of them. Then switch with Harry to Wingardium Leviosa to do this. And this next movement is also important, because I want to make sure all three characters... Okay, the game's doing weird stuff, but I want to make sure all three characters are on the stairs entirely. When Hermione does her AI movement, she tends to be half on, half off, and the game's a bit iffy as to whether it registers all three characters on the stairs. So I switch to Hermione, bring her to anywhere about here, and then I'm going to jump and shoot, and then immediately run down with player 1. Because you only need all three players on the stairs once the registration has gone off. Once it's registered that all three characters are on the stairs, you can move as far away as you want. So in this case, we basically move as close as possible to Dumbledore's office. So I'm going to go up here now. Sometimes the Professor Binns token will spawn here. I have zero clue as to what causes this. It just seems like a random thing. It's something like the two candles overlap in split screen or something, and that causes it to work, but it's very weird. But obviously that means one thing you want to make sure of is you don't jump here, because if you jump, you grab the token, it's a 5-10 second time loss. Probably 5 seconds. Depending on if you're saving or not. But then once you've done that, you can go into the door. Dumbledore doesn't have collision, because of course, don't know why. And then into the level. Important things for this level. The first 3 rooms of this are a maze section where you have to build the statue in the middle, shoot the statue will point to which directions you have to go to escape. The directions the statue points are always the same. It is always right then left in room 1, left then right then down in room 2, and then right, left, down, up in room 3. Always the same. But of course the things you have to do to build the statues are a little bit different. So we're going to start off here. Immediately what I do in this level is just start spamming shooting with player 2. And you can see by doing that we take out 3 of the 4 bushes. Can't take out the 4th one. So at the same time with Harry, what I'll do is I'll move down, shoot this last one, and then start building. With player 2, I'll position myself just by the right door here. And that means that once we shoot the statue, we can go through. Now, immediately once the statue is shot, we're able to pass through. There's no, issue with, how long you have to wait or anything. Once the statue is shot, you're able to go through. Absolutely fine. And you can see there is a timer where if you don't go through fast enough, it, stops, and then you have to do it again. But whatever, we don't need to worry about that, I think. The one thing I do like to do, though, in this section is end this section, both characters with Immobilis, and both characters with their wands out. with a shot fired. And then we go through. That's because in this room, very first thing is spamming B to fire them, and then immediately start building with Harry. And I'm just going to spam shots with player 2 here until it becomes active. But again, we want to end with a certain spell, and in this case, I want to end with Lumos on both characters for the next room. But this one is left, right, down, so I'm going to go left and right with player 2, and then down with player 1. Okay, unfortunately, P2 put his wand away, or P1 put his wand away there. That's not important. In this room, we got these vines to get rid of. P2 is going to do basically front and right. P1 is going to do left and back. So I activate Lumos with both, and then just start jumping round like so. And they kind of meet in this corner here. Once again then, start building with player 1. And start spamming shots with player 2 near the door we need to be at. And this one is right, left, down, up. And now the rest of this room, or the rest of this section, is only needing to be played with one player. But we'll go with Harry here. The very important thing here to make sure of is you want to be on the right cycle. You don't want to get behind on a cycle, but basically, if you just keep moving forwards, you will be on the right cycle. So we'll see that here with Harry, because all of these are on the same cycle. It's a local cycle from when you start the room. It's not global. But yeah, we should get to here as this is just closed, and then we keep on going. I like to jump around a bit there. This is the only hard part where sometimes you can miss this if you get hit by some weird collision, but that's very rare to happen. As I'm going through here, switch Harry to Immobilis, and I'm going to jump and shoot, and then shoot again on this arrow sign, because we need this arrow sign to go through here. Put this down, and then we go into here, like so. And then we do have a skip in this section. This skip is interesting. It's a bit of a weird Lumos jump, but basically you just want to Lumos jump around this kind of Sphinx character. P2 tends to freak out for some reason, I have no idea why. But yeah, this Lumos jump is a little bit weird, because if you try and jump over the center of the Sphinx, sometimes you'll get sloped or something. But you can just Lumos jump around the side, like so, and that's guaranteed to work. Like so. And then from here, you can go forwards to the door. So once you're in this final room, this is a very simple boss fight. This is one of the most simple boss fights in the game. Basically, all you're going to do is immediately run forwards and turn around with both characters, and then just start spamming shots with both. Voldemort will jump down, so you change your mashing to only be with P1, then switch it back to both players. You want to take out all these waves of Death Eaters, but just by standing here and shooting, it's absolutely fine. As long as Cedric is far enough to the right, not a problem. And then again, continue mashing. And that is the full run. Yeah, that is all the levels complete. And of course, by extension, then the end of this tutorial series. It has taken me a while to get all these videos out, but hopefully this provide a very good foundation for, you know, learning this run. There is definitely some stuff I've missed and some newer stuff that has kind of come along that will invalidate some of the stuff I've spoken about in some of the older levels. I plan to go through and kind of try and update them periodically. But, yeah, there's some things that will be difficult to cover over the course of a video like this. For example, the differences between standard any percent and no cut any percent. I'll have to look at a different way of displaying that information. But yeah, that's it for this video. If you have any questions, of course, feel free to join the LEGO Harry Potter speedrunning Discord. I've linked that down in the description below. You can also join my Discord in the description below. I've got the full tutorial playlist, should also be linked below or associated with this video somewhere. And yeah, I think that's everything. So yeah, thank you very much for watching and sticking through this tutorial series, and yeah, I'll see you all next time.